Good day, everyone. My name is Daniel. I'm here to present to you a scientific evidence to show that the God of Christianity is the God of Islam. That is, the one God of Christianity is still the one God that the people that are Islamic they serve. Now, let's look at the evidence. We are not looking at the Bible says or the Quranic says, because even people that don't believe in God, like the atheists, they want scientific proof that to show that God exists. We will try as much as possible to prove truly that we are serving the one living God. I mean both Christians and Muslims. Now, who is God? God is a supreme being that the whole universe worship. It is the God above every lesser gods. Now, in the beginning, when people start calling on God, that is in the ancient days, before even Christianity or Islam came, before Abraham came, or before Muhammad came, the whole world, in the Stone Age, the whole world came together. Just like we have different countries, even in those days too, there are different countries. And people are serving different gods. Most of them are lesser gods. The whole world came together and did a meeting and believed that out of all the gods, there is one God that is supreme amongst all the other gods. They call that God El or Il. The supreme name of God, the supreme name of the ancient God is El or Il. Now, the genesis of El or Il will be explained now. El or Il is a Semitic language. It's a Northwest Semitic language. This is what I mean. There is a language that was spoken in the olden days. That language is called Ugaritic language. That language is now extinct. It is no more spoken because it has gone into extinction. It is that language that gave birth to both Arabic and the Hebrew language. Now, people don't just start speaking Hebrew language. People don't just start speaking Arabic language. There is a language that gave birth to both Hebrew and Arabic language. That language is called Ugaritic language. Ugaritic language. This is an ancient language spoken thousands of years ago. That is what gave birth to both Arabic language and Aramaic language, which is Aramaic language, Aramaic, which is old Hebrew language, and old Arabic language, Now, what is El? What is Il? El is the generic name of God. Also, Il is also the generic name of God. When the Arabic in the olden days, when the Arabs in the olden days want to call God, they call him Il, I-L. When the Hebrew, the Aramaic want to call God in the olden days, they call him El. I'll tell you the reason. In the whole world, there's what we call a generic name. Let us assume in the field of medicine. When somebody has typhoid, you say go and buy Ciprotab. Go and buy Senos. But the name of that drug is called ciprofloxacin. So the generic name of a typhoid drug is ciprofloxacin. But there are different brands. Ciprotab, which is the one that is the strongest. Senos, which is cheap. And other brands. Same way, when you are talking about God, just like we are talking about ciprofloxacin, the generic name of any God is either called El or Il. Now, all other gods, they are derived from this generic name. Now, if you want to talk about Yahweh, if you want to talk about Baal, you cannot talk about Yahweh or Baal or Moloch without talking about El or Il. Now, El is most common with the Aramaic language. While Il is most common with the Arabic language. But they are what? They are the generic name of God. Just as I've explained. Please note. Generic name is the general name of a name. So the general name of God, of any God, is called El or Il. El for Aramaic, Il for Arabic. So all other gods are derived from El or Il. Now, how do we differentiate that the God of Christianity is supreme? The God of Islam is supreme to other gods. How do we know that the Christians worship a supreme God and also the Muslims too worship a supreme God? There is a proof. If the general name of God is El or Il, so if you tell me that your God is El and Muslims tell me that their God is Il, people will ask you, how? Because if Moloch or Baal too, generic name is El or Il, how do you know that your own God is supreme to Baal or is supreme to other gods? There is a change. Now, this Aramaic language in the olden days called their God El. This Arabic language in the olden days called their God Il. Il was the name of God in Arabic before God was called Ilah. Now, it was later that people discover that there is just ruling, that is your God supreme. Is your God supreme. That is why the name of God in Aramaic changed to Elah, and the name of God in Hebrew changed to Ilah. The name of God is Elah in Arab, A-E-L plus A-H. This one is what? I-L plus A-H. So we now have Elah as the Aramaic name of God and Ilah as the Arabic name of God. So this is what? Modern Aramaic name of God. Modern Arabic name of God. Now, note, we all know that Allah is the name of the supreme God of Islam. But Allah was derived from Al-Ilah. Al-Ilah. Al means the, and Ilah means God. So it means God in Islam is simply Ilah. Why God in Aramaic is Elah? I will tell you the difference. If this is Elah and this is Ilah. Now, if I can also refer to Baal as El, I can also refer to Moloch as Il or El. Now, what differentiates lesser God from bigger God of Christian and Muslim is this. Now, in Hebrew language, if AH is added to a name, that means that name is from God or to God. From God or to God. Not the big G. So even if I now have Ilah, it means that Il, that AH means Il is from God or to God. Now, this Elah means, you know that in Hebrew, if AH, please you can make that research. If in Hebrew, if AH is added to a name, it means that name is from God or to God. So it means if El is the generic name of God in Hebrew, and the Aramaic name of God is Elah, it means that El, that is the supreme name of God of Hebrew, is from God. If Il is the generic name of God in Aramaic, and the name of God in Arabic is now Ilah, it means that Il is what? From God. So AH added to a name means that name is from God or to God. So it means El is from God or is referring to God. This one now means that El means it is what? From God or referring to God. Now, note that even though the Arabic name of God is Ilah, some Muslims are ignorant of the fact that before the name of God was Ilah, the name of God was in Arabic was Il. It was not Ela initially. It was IL. It was later that when the people that don't know God were questioning the superiority of the God of Islam, it now changed to Hila. That means the Hil that we serve is from God. Before, the name of the God of Israel was El. When those that don't know God, they were questioning the superiority of the God of Israel, the name changed to Hela, which means that the God we serve is from God. That is, the hell we serve is from God. Now, EL is equals to IL, and Ella is equals to Ela. You can see. El, the God of Aramaic, the God of Israel. This IL, the God of Islam. This Ella is the God of the modern Aramaic language. This Ela is the God of the modern Arabic language. Now, what is the proof that truly this name is true? Now, there is nobody that can claim that what I want to say now is false. When Jesus was on the cross, he cried, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani. No, but even in all Bible, it was written as, it was not even written in English. It was written in the Aramaic language. Look at, I want to take a point out. When Jesus was on the cross, Eli, lama sabachthani. This Eli means my God. My God. Why have you forsaken me? Now, I'm not looking at this. I'm looking at this. That means the God of Jesus was Eli. The God of Jesus was Eli. So which means Eli is what? The God of Jesus. So now, how do we break this down? We can have it as EL high. L can be divided into EL, then you can have an hyphen high. So which means the suffix. Suffix means what is written after L is high. Now, you can see that this is the God we are talking about, hell. Now, why this I there? And don't forget, I said L is same thing as what? Il. Now, in Hebrew language, when high is used as a suffix to a name, it means mine or my. When high is used, that I means mine or my. Also in Arabic, when high is used as a suffix of a name, is this mine or my. So which means hell, high. So if this is God, if hell is God and high is what? Is my. What is the name of the God of Jesus? Is El. Now, one thing is this. In Arabic, when high is used as a suffix of a name, it means mine. Also in Hebrew, if high is used as a suffix of a name, it means mine. Now, if Jesus said Eli, Eli, that El is God, and high, either in Arabic or in Arabic, it means mine. So even if it is high El or El, if Jesus God is El, which is El, and it's also IL, it's the same God. So Jesus God is here. So if Jesus can give us a testimony that his own God is El, so why are we fighting? So which means the name of God of Jesus is Hell. Now, if God is El in Aramaic, which is Old Hebrew, and Hil is name of God in Arabic language. That is Old Arabic language. Now, we said that if we want to know that the God of Israel is supreme, is a big God, we have Ella. Ella. And AH in Arabic means that L is from God or referring to God. Now, also we have Il as name of God in Arabic. Now we have AH. That means that Il, which is simply means God, is from God or referring to God. Now, the name of God in Arabic is Ilah. It simply means God. The name of God in Arabic, which is Hebrew, is what? Ella. Now, which is also God. Now, why is now God called Allah? Now, there is an AL added to Hila. That is what gave birth to Allah. AA simply means G. Just like we have Al-Mumin, Al-Jaziri, maybe Aliyah. So, we are just qualifying this name, Hal, with D. Now, that is why we have Allah. You can see, but this Al is just mean D. This is God. That we are right that Hal, this Hila means God. Now, let's look at Ella. Why do God name change from Ella to God? Now, because God, the Christian will say that their God, this one is Aramaic language. We are now in the English expression, people call God. Now, this is in Aramaic language, God is Ella. So the meaning of God in English is called God. Now, but we have a proof. Now, if A is equals to 1, B is equals to 2, C is equals to 3. Now, let us represent the value of E with 5, L with 12, A with 1. So now we now have E, L, A, H. Now, if we say A is 1, then Z will be 26. Now, A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, Z is 26. Now, E is 5. L is 12. A is 1. H is 8. Everything will give you 26. Let's look at God too. G-O-D. G is 7. O is 15. D is 4. It will give you 26. You can see that Ella is what? God. So if you had the numerical value of the alphabet contains in Ella, we also had the numerical value of the alphabet contained in God, we are going to have G-O-D, which is 26. This one is also 26. No wonder when you have A to Z, Z is what? 26. So the God we are serving is complete. Thank you. If there are any questions or there are any contributions, you can call the number that is shown on the screen. Thank you. God bless you.
Us.